We are breaking down James J. Hill, the empire builder. We're going to be looking at his business strategies, the things that he has done to build an empire. He is known as the empire builder. And if you know Charlie Munger, this is one of the people that he studied. This is your guru's guru. So the lessons that you can learn from J.J. Hill is going to be very, very helpful. The business lessons. And today I'm going to be going over the lessons, applicable strategies that you can apply to your life. If you're a business owner, if you're a CEO, if you're an investor, if you have a holdco adventure, whatever it may be, these strategies are going to change, and more importantly, they're going to help you create an empire just like James J. Hill. So, get ready and let's get started. And I'm not going to be going over his life, his biography. If you want to get a better understanding of who he is and his childhood, his upbringing, and how he migrated from Canada to US and the things he's done in his life, his biography essentially, then I highly suggest that you listen to Founders Podcast. But for this particular podcast, it's more of we're going to be going over his business strategies that you can apply into your life. So the first thing, you probably already know about James J. Hill, and the one particular asset that he had and characteristics are, you can tell that they are similar to the greats, similar to the people that has achieved great things. And the first thing that I want to talk about was his frugal precision. He has built an infrastructure with frugal precision. So Hill avoided costly tunnels, and by scouting the Maria Pass, lowest rock mountain crossing himself, he was able to save millions. He prioritized cost-effective routes, ensuring profitability without government subsidies. So, how does this apply to you and your business? Well, you need to invest time in researching low-cost, high-impact solutions. For example, use open source tools, negotiate with your partnership, reduce overhead while maintaining quality. Do things, you got to be really, really frugal, especially if you are in the early stage of the business. Because when you are spending money, reckless money, and there is an opportunity cost to that. So James J. Hill, the empire builder, decide to save millions of dollars by scouting the Marius Pass by himself. So think of your life. Now, every lesson that I go through, I want you to think on how does this apply to you? Because I want you to apply these information. I want you to apply these tools that he has used in the past to create an empire. And I want you to build your empire. This channel is for you to build your empire. Now, Jeff Bezos was very frugal. Elon Musk is frugal. James J. Hill is frugal. John D. Rockefeller is frugal. These patterns are consistently shown by the greats, the masters of the universe. So think about frugality. Number 2, you need to control the supply chain. He'll monopolize the coal distribution in the Northwest during the 1870s and later acquired the Mississippi Range iron mines. This vertical integration ensured steady fuel and raw materials for his railroads. Secure critical resources. This is how you're going to apply to your business. Secure critical resources for your business, partner with suppliers, or invest in upstream assets. So he wanted to control the supply chain. This is vertical integration. If you know about mergers and acquisition, how can you find a vertical acquisition to or for your business? Think about that. Vertical acquisition. And if you have now bought a supplier or partner with a supplier, then it's going to help you with costs, and it's also going to be helping you with, if you're in a product business with the raw materials. If you're in a service business, it's going to help you with your margins. So think about control the supply chain. This is what James J. Hill did. Now, the third thing that he did was he forged strategic alliance, partnership with J.P. Morgan. And I know that you know who J.P. Morgan is. To counter Union Pacific E.H. Harriman, Hill allied with the financier J.P. Morgan to control the Northern Pacific and Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy railroads. This collaboration stabilizes empire during the market volatility. Identify complementary partners. For instance, a tech startup might collaborate with a hardware manufacturer to co-develop products. Find those strategic alliances in the businesses. Find those strategic alliances that's going to create a situation where each party, each person benefits from each other. You also, when you're presenting a strategic alliance, or you want to create a strategic alliance, think about the other person. Think about how you can create an irresistible offer for those people. If you create an irresistible offer for those people, then they're going to be on your team. And you want to have strategic alliance with the right type of people, with the powerful people, and people that can move the needle. If you look at John D. Rockefeller, he had strategic alliance with different oil companies. He had strategic alliance with railroad companies. He had strategic alliance with different parts of his business. These people saw these strategies are being applied today. Elon Musk has a strategic alliance with NVIDIA. Jensen invested in XAI, which is Elon Musk's AI company. And now he forged a strategic alliance. Now he has access to those GPUs. So find people that's going to help you build your empire. All right. Next, invest. James J. Hill always invests in long-term growth and not in the short-term gains. He's always thinking about the futures. He's always thinking about how can I make my future better. So Hill sold land cheaply to Scandinavian immigrants, creating communities dependent on his railroads. This seeded long-term customer bases. He offered discounted service to early adopters to build loyalty. SaaS company could provide free training to small businesses. This is how it's going to apply to you. Free training to small businesses in exchange for testimonials. For some, if it's a software, you can give them a free trial. Get them, if it's a software company, you can give your customers a free trial so that they'll be able to experience your service and product, right? So think of how there's many ways to apply this particular strategy. If it's a service business, if it's a product business, or if it's a building business, if you're trying to build a legacy business, how can you think about the long-term growth and not the short-term gains? When Jeff Bezos, he always thought about the long-term growth, experimenting, and not worrying about today, and worry about how the company will look like 3, 5, 10, 20 years from now. Reverse engineer. Charlie Munger said, hey, picture yourself at this stage of the career or life or business. Now reverse engineer and how you're going to get there. This is what it means by investing in long-term growth. We are sacrificing today so that we can have a better future. So think about that in your business. Think about that in your life. Think about that in every area, because this is very important. See, Musk also does this. Bezos, John D. Like, there's patterns. These masters of the universe have patterns. And these are the similar patterns that consistently showing over and over and over and over again. And these patterns are going to be needed if you want to build an empire. Mic drop. Oh, but I'm not done yet. I'm here to provide value. But if you found value in what I'm doing, then subscribe and comment. I need you to comment because I'm trying to spread the word, and I want people to know how to build an empire. All right. The next thing that James J. Hill did was he reinvests in profits relentlessly. While competitors went bankrupt, Hill slashed operating costs by 13% and reinvested profits into track upgrades. His railroads thrive post-recession. During downturns, cut non-essential expenses. There you go, being frugal again, such as luxury office space, and redirect funds into R&D or customer retention programs. So invest in your business, invest in the growth of your team, invest in your organization. If you're a leader, executive, whatever position you may hold, the best investments are the ones that are going to give you good returns. And what do you consider good returns? Invest in yourself, invest in your team, invest in your product, invest in your service, invest in customer retention programs. If you look at Jeff Bezos, look at Costco, they use their profits, to ultimately give a better experience for the customers so that they can come back. And that is the secret of building a great business. Be customer obsessed. And this is what he did. I wonder if Jeff knows and studied about James J. Hill. I'm just curious. Anyways, so reinvest profits relentlessly. Cut non-essential expenses. This goes back to the frugal part. Cut non-essential expenses such as luxury office, anything luxury, because that money, it is essentially an asset to. During that downturn, he was able to reinvest profits, which then gave him an ability to move ahead of his competitors because they were running out of money. Next. All right, this one is that time he was ahead, and he was ahead by adapting, to the geopolitical shifts. So James capitalized on Japan's industrialization by offering free cotton samples and securing rail contracts. Japan trade surged from 7.7 million annually under his influence. So Hill understood the importance of global markets, and he actively sought to establish trade relationships with Asian countries. He recognized the potential for economic growth through exchange of goods and services across borders, and he positioned his railroad to facilitate this trade. James' effort to establish trade routes to Asia led to the development of port facilities in Seattle and other Northwest cities. This facilitated the export of American goods to Asian markets and import of Asian products, contributing to the economic prosperity of the region. So, how does this apply to you? Well, in today's interconnected world, international trade is essential for business growth. Hill's strategy was he emphasized the importance of developing global partnership, expanding into new markets, and capitalizing on the opportunities presented by the international trade. So, with the power of the internet, you have now access to the whole world. Use that as leverage. Use that as a way for you to expand into different territories, communicate, build relationship with people in different countries. There's really no limit to what you can do now with the access of the internet. If you want to find strategic partnership, if you want to, if you're creating a product, where is it better for you to save money on manufacturing, right? So these are the geopolitical shifts that is happening. And there's always going to be things that's happening with these type of shifts. The AI shift is crazy. The AI shift is going to change the world. So find and adapt. The key word here is adapt, because the market is always changing. The policy is always changing. The people are always changing. The human nature doesn't change that much. But you need to be adaptable and flexible to the international trade, political shifts, and see what's going on with all the Asian side, the European side, the American side, and so forth. All right. James J. Hill always led with hands-on detail. So he personally surveyed routes on horseback and micromanaged freight costs. His obsession with efficiency earned him the nickname Empire Builder. Regularly audit workflows. For example, a restaurant owner could track food waste daily to optimize inventory. So how he was always looking for ways to improve the organization, improve the workflow. He was never happy. And I did a video on Jim, which is the founder of Renaissance Technologies, and he has the same mindset. Like, this Jim produced 66% return. It's crazy. Like, his fund is crazy. Like, it produces amazing results, and nobody knows what's going in there. But the thing is, Jim was never satisfied. Even if he's producing that much, like if he's producing at 66%, he wants to increase that even more. He's never satisfied. He's always hungry. He's always looking to get better. Kobe Bryant also has this. Michael Jordan, always getting better. And James J. Hill, he was not afraid to do the work. He was not afraid to go on the horseback and surveyed the area. He was not afraid to micromanage the freight costs. Obsession. There you go. Micromanage the freight costs. His obsession with efficiency, right? Efficiency. If people are frugal, it usually means that they want to be efficient. And this is why Charlie Munger says that James J. Hill is a great operator like John D. Rockefeller. Charlie Munger would classify James J. Hill as the same class as John D. Rockefeller. And this is why Charlie Munger studied him. So James J. Hill audited the workflows, audited the people to make sure they're doing their job correctly. And if you are how does this apply to you? Don't settle. Always optimize. Always improve. Elon Musk, what he does is he deletes, continuously deletes. And if he's not adding back 10% of what he's doing, then he hasn't deleted enough. He wants to optimize things and make it more efficient. James, find ways for your business. Find ways to optimize your structure, workflow, process, accounting, staff, everything. Admin, emails, assistants, especially now with the help of AI, like the agents. I'm excited for the agents, man. Once the agents come out and they are actually competent, then, oh my gosh, the whole world is going to look like a different place. Anyways, the future looks bright. I'm excited for the future. The next thing that James J. Hill did, he turned crisis into opportunities. He was acquiring bankrupt railroads. After the 1873, Hill acquired the bankrupt St. Paul and Pacific Railroad for pennies, restructuring it into profitable St. Paul, Minneapolis, and Manitoba Railway. So how does this apply to you? During industry disruption, acquire undervalued assets. A real estate investor might buy foreclosed properties during a housing crash. Or there's going to be companies that's going to divest their assets. If they're going to divest their assets from pennies to $1, that gives you an opportunity to essentially get a market share for pennies to $1. You know how crazy that is? That's going to move you at a rapid pace. It's like instead of crawling, you are now sprinting. Instead of racing with a bike, you are now racing on a jet. This is a great hack. If you know about mergers and acquisition, if you know about buying assets from pennies to $1, restructuring it, that is going to explode your business. This is a playbook. If you're familiar with roll-ups, this is a good strategy. Okay? So, find opportunities like that. There's going to be opportunities. If you're looking for a business owner, business owners are, depending on what stage they are in their life. Maybe some of them I've come across business owners. I was trying to buy this HVAC, a funeral home, and some of them, they're retiring. And one of them, the HVAC owner, they have kids, but the kids don't want to take over the business. So what's going to happen? The employees don't want to buy the business. So that's why I come in and offer a good opportunity to buy the business. The business owner is happy because the business is like his baby and it lives on. And I'm not going to destroy or harm the business. Because imagine somebody spent 25 to 30 years of their life building a business. That is their child. That is part of the family. And they don't want anything bad to happen to that person, to that family, or that, aka that business, the customers, the staff. So these are great opportunities. These are crises for some people. When there's a company that's bankrupt, or maybe a business owner is retiring, or maybe a business owner is sick. right? Those are what we call motivated sellers. Find motivated sellers and you'll be able to buy great asset. You want to build an empire? This is just one of the arsenals that you should have in your toolbox. All right. Now, James J. Hill leveraged monopolies constructively. Red River Transportation Monopoly. Hill merged steamboat companies to control Red River trade, ensuring predictable pricing and reliability. Critics called it constructive monopoly that stabilized regional commerce. So, how does this apply to you? Dominate niche markets ethically. A local delivery service could partner with all major retailers in the region to become indispensable. So, find where you're going to have that monopoly ethically. Google ads, they have a monopoly, but I don't know how it's going to look like now with people using AI and shifting their behavior from using search engine to AI. But find monopolies in your business, all right? How you can use Hill merge steamboat companies. So this is part of the M&A strategy that I was talking about earlier. Mergers and acquisition, right? Roll up. If you do a roll up, then you have now established. You can use synergies with the pricing, with the accounting, with the systems, with the software, with the staff. These are the power of roll-ups because you'll be able to use leverage from other systems and now dominate the market. We're here to dominate the market. We're not here to... Second place is boring. Third place is boring. Fourth place is boring. Like, all we do is win here. First, we have the habit of winning. You have the habit of winning. If you're listening to this and you made it this far, you have the habit of winning because you're able to stick through and you're able to listen. And the next step is you're going to apply these strategies to your business, to your life. And I commend you. All right. Next, James J. Hill he built, not, I wouldn't say built his legacy, but he was into philanthropy. He funded libraries, schools to improve regional education. That he's like Andrew Carnegie, right? He accumulated a lot of money, then decided to use that money to help the community, such as scholarship programs, mentorship programs, because at the end of the day, he wants to make impact, create impact, help people, leave the world a better place. And he did that by allocating portions of his profits to community projects, which is like schools, libraries, scholarships, etc. So how can you make an impact in other people's life, the less fortunate? Use your resources, tools to make a difference. And this is, I don't know about you, but for me, when I do something good, like when I give money away or I help somebody, it makes me feel good. And maybe it's just the dopamine going off in my head, but it makes me feel good. So, and it also makes me feel that, okay, I made a difference in somebody's life. So this is what he did. He created scholarships, schools, etc. So I invite you to do more philanthropic work. All right. Now, teams are very important. And James J. Hill believed that fostering a strong internal culture and promoting employees based on merit and performance, not politics, not bureaucracy, based on merit and performance. He recognized that the value of loyalty and experiences, and he rewarded employees who demonstrated dedication and competence. Hill practices of promoting from within created a strong sense of loyalty and encouraged employees to strive for excellence. This fostered a culture of dedication and contributed to the efficient operation of the Great Northern Railway. So how does this apply to you? You need to invest in your employees, invest in their development. You need to promote them by merit and performance. You also need to learn how to lead to boost the morale. When things are not going great, how can you boost the morale when there's a downturn, or finances tight, or customers are not happy, or you just lost a big client? You need to boost the morale, have that ability to be able to boost the morale of the people around you. This will improve retention rate and find your culture. Hill has a culture in his company, in his organization. He has a culture of growth. If you look at every organization that is doing great, Nvidia, Tesla, if you look, they have a culture of growth. If you look at BlackRock, Blackstone, they have a culture of growth. If you look at Renaissance Technologies, they have a culture of growth. So Hill strategy highlights the importance of recognizing and rewarding talent within the organization. How are you going to reward those people now? I mentioned before, attracting talent is one thing. Keeping talent is another thing. Are they staying for the vision? Are they staying for the mission? Or are they doing it for money? They're all great. If you can have all of these three things in your organization, then you have now the cheat code. You don't need to attract everybody. You need to only attract a certain type of people. The people that foster, the people that embodies the characteristics of your DNA, your company's DNA. So find out what your company values are. Find out what your company structure is, the culture, how you're going to have a strategy on how to attract and retain talent. And more importantly, this is what you always need to remember. Promote people based on their merit and performance. All right, so this one is the last one. This is the last business strategy lesson of this episode. Now, James J. Hill, he diversified labor sources. He recognized the limitation of traditional labor pools. Hill actively sought out new sources of manpower. He offered incentives to attract workers from diverse backgrounds, including immigrants from Scandinavia and other parts of Europe. This strategy not only addressed labor shortages, but also fostered a more inclusive and dynamic workforce. Hill recruitment of Scandinavian immigrants played a crucial role in the construction of the Great Northern Railway by offering affordable transportation and opportunities for land ownership. I'm going to say that again. Okay. By offering affordable transportation and opportunities for land ownership. What is the incentive? Show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome. All right. Hill attracted a large and dedicated workforce that helped him complete his ambition project. So how does this apply to you? Well, in today's globalized economy, businesses must embrace diversity and actively seek out talent. You know what I mentioned before. Actively seek out talent from a wide range of backgrounds. Hill's strategy demonstrates the value of tapping into underutilized labor pools and creating a workforce that reflects diversity of the market. So it's very, very important for you, because the team, if you have a great team, then you can take those people. Those people are going to take your business to the next level. So where are you finding these talent? And now you can get talent everywhere. Talent from Asia, talent from India, talent from Europe, talent from America. Like, there's talent everywhere. You just have to find it. Find the talent and see. Hill offered affordable transportation and opportunities for land ownership. Okay, what is your incentive to attract those people? I'll tell you a secret. Jim from Renaissance Technologies, he made everybody partners. That was his secret. Find out what your people want. Maybe they don't want to be partners. Maybe they just want something that is a watch or a trip, or everybody is motivated by different things. So find out what everyone's motivation is. But I tell you what everybody likes. People want to feel like they're being heard. People want to feel like they belong somewhere. And more importantly, people want to be recognized. That is, if you can do all of those things, you're going to be able to, because now it's not about the money. It's deep down inside. You're touching to the emotions, and emotions move people. Emotions move people. That's why great speeches, when you hear great speeches, they're able to move the crowd. They're able to change behavior because emotions move people. With that being said, I hope you found something here that's going to be very useful, because I definitely took a lot of time to research, study, and more importantly, lay this out so that you can learn from James J. Hill's business strategy, the Empire Builder. If you found value, I want you to subscribe. I want you to share this video to somebody that will find this very useful. And more importantly, keep crushing it. Keep crushing. Keep doing what you're doing. You're in the right, if you're listening to this, then you want to be great. And don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Continue to build your empire. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you. I hope you can find guidance from these masters. And with that being said, stay tuned for the next amazing episode that I'm going to drop. Peace.